Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're looking at order of operations from section 1-2, and our learning target today is I can evaluate expressions correctly by using the order of operations. So it's very important when we look at expressions that we take into account that operations have to be done in a certain order, and that will ultimately determine whether you get the right answer or not, depending if you use the correct rules. So let's look at what some of those rules are. Before we get to that, I'm going to just leave one bonus question for you, and I want you to please try to solve this and use order of operations as you know them now. And the first person that comes to me and says, I've seen it on the video and I have solved it, and you show me your work and show me you have the correct answer, you will get 2 math bucks. Okay, so that's a bonus. First person to tell me that will get that. And you may not be looking at this video for a while, but when you do and you tell me you have the correct answer and show me, you'll get the math bucks then. Okay, now let's look at some of the rules. With order of operations, first thing you want to do is evaluate expressions inside grouping symbols. So if you have parentheses, brackets, things like that, you want to evaluate whatever is inside those first. The second step is you're going to evaluate all powers. So you're looking for exponents, things like that. Evaluate those numbers. Third thing is you multiply and or divide from left to right. Now, many of you have heard the term PEMDAS, and the only difficulty with that is a lot of students think from that multiplication comes before division. They're actually on the same level. What you do is you look at the problem going from left to right, and if you see a multiplication first, you would do that first. If you see a division first, you would do that first. Same thing then with addition and subtraction. That's the next thing you would do, is add or subtract from left to right. And again, with PEMDAS, many people will think addition has a higher priority than subtraction. They're again on the same level, similar to multiplication and division. It's just that they will come lower in the pecking order than multiplication and division. So if you follow these 4 steps as shown in that order, you will come out with the correct answers. Okay, now let's look at maybe a couple examples. So let's look at these 3. I want you to, we'll go through this first one together. And in fact, I'll go through all of them, and then you can certainly practice similar ones, and with the work you have and the practice problems in the book and things, you'll get plenty of practice as well. So let's go through these first 3. So looking at number 1, if we look at this, first thing we want to do is go inside the parentheses. That's what it said, and then we follow the rules within there first. So we're going to do this exponent first. So that's going to tell us that we have 25. Now we have a division going from left to right, so 15 divided by 3 is 5. And so inside the parentheses we have 5 plus 25, which we could also write as 30. So now we have 80 minus 30, taking this minus this, is 50 plus 12. Our answer should be 62. And looks like that checks out, and so we were correct with that one. In the second one, so again we have parentheses, we have 2 sets of parentheses, so it won't matter which we solve first here, and then we're going to multiply them together at the end. So first we have negative 2 raised to the second power, so negative 2 times negative 2 is going to be a positive 4. Remember, if you multiply a negative times a negative, it will be positive. So negative 2 times negative 2, that's raising it to the second power, means you multiply it by itself. That's a positive 4 times 3 plus 1 is 4, and then 4 squared, 4 to the second power, is going to be 4 times 4, which is 16. So now we have 4 times 16, which should be 64. And let's just double check and make sure we did that right. Looks like we did that one okay too. And then now on this last one down here, again we look inside the parentheses, so we have these exponents. So first we have 3 to the second power is 3 times 3, which is 9. And then we're going to multiply that times 8. And from whatever this result is, we're going to subtract 20. So on the top of the fraction, then we have 9 times 8 is 72 minus 20 is 52. And then on the bottom we have 13 times 2 is 26. So we have 52 over 26, which should be 2. Kind of a long way to say the number 2, but that's what it should come out to. We'll double check, and it looks like that worked as well. So that's looking at several examples of PEMDAS. Again, if you just follow those rules that we looked at, and I'll just go back to them once more quickly. For the order of operations, first you're going to evaluate expressions inside the grouping symbol, so inside the parentheses, inside the brackets. Next, you evaluate all the powers, so you're looking for the exponents there, and you evaluate the terms with those. Then you're going to multiply and or divide left to right. So if you see multiplication first, you go with that first. If you see division first, you go with that first. And then finally, the fourth thing is you add or subtract from left to right. So again, if subtraction's first, you do that first. If addition's first, you do that first. So that's order of operations. Hopefully this will be somewhat helpful, and I will look forward to seeing you back in class again soon. And thanks again very much for listening. Take care.